What it do? We are back with another episode of Are You Serious? And this time we ain't got the shenanigans by that dude over there. Let's see what happens after this weekend. It's your boy Wild J.
And you know it's your boy King.
And we got my cousin here. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm D. Wright, and welcome to a podcast.
This guy is a Bronco fan.
Special guest in the building.
So you know
Horseman.
we about to go ham on that one. You know what I
Horseman.
mean?
I'm not just an average Bronco fan, I'm a lifelong Bronco
Hey,
fan.
talk your
He
shit.
said he ain't on the bandwagon.
Talk your shit.
That's what I'm talking about. So, what we're going to do now, we're going to get started with our picks of the week. Last week, we were 4-2 each. I can't get rid of this guy over here. Let's see what this week brings. So I know we're going to have some different picks. I already know it. I can just feel it.
Hey, it's divisional round time, baby.
All right, so we're going to get started with the Texans versus New England. What you got, Donnie? We're going to let you go first.
I'm definitely looking at this game, and there's a lot of parity in this league. So it's difficult to choose, and you want to go with the home team. You want to go with New England. But for reasons that we might have to discuss at a later date.
Oh, we're going to discuss it right now.
Yeah.
I mean, they on fraud alert. They on fraud alert. Y'all want to get into that?
Yeah, we're getting into it. Well, who are you picking?
I'm picking the Texans.
Okay, why are you picking them? Let us know.
I'm picking the Texans because New England is a team that has struggled with teams that I look at and think that that if they're a 13-3 team, how did you lose to the Raiders in week 1? And don't just say it's week 1. It's the Raiders. They lost to the Raiders, and they lost to. I'll have to check my notes, but they lost to another team that I really didn't think that they should have lost to.
Okay.
And those types of things give me concern because the Texans are a team that just they play a lot of solid defense.
Okay.
And just being able to travel and play defense at a high level, that definitely puts pressure on a team like New England. New England has to go out there and prove that they're not a fraud. The Texans just go up in there and just kick tail if they can.
Okay.
So and getting further into it, I do believe that New England is a good team. That 13-3 record is
I don't
not.
know about that one.
No, but that 13-3 record, Mike Vrabel is a hell of a coach. He's taken that team and revamped the culture, and I respect New England. And it's always good football when New England and Denver are at the top of the AFC. You can't get any better than that. But going back into that,
They did have a light schedule. I'll give you that. They did have a light schedule. But go ahead and finish your point.
And they lost to the Steelers. That's what they lost.
it was the Steelers. Okay,
Yeah,
so and that was like week 4 or 5 or something like that. It was early on too. But going back to it, a young quarterback in Drake May, and just not really a lot that really just excites me. He threw 25 touchdowns, like 14 picks or something like that. Those numbers are comparable to so many other quarterbacks, but yet you're hearing MVP about this guy when he has the same amount of touchdowns as Bo Nix and Josh Allen, if I'm correct. So he's not
Passing
Well,
only.
actually-
passing only.
But
But
actually, he threw 31 touchdowns and 8 interceptions.
who?
Drake May this season.
Drake May.
He threw 31 or he had
He
31?
threw 31 total touchdowns and 8 interceptions this season.
Well,
Leading the league in a 77.2 QBR.
That's what he did do. But
I must
Go
have
ahead.
been looking at the wrong.
Go ahead. I'm
stats.
just saying. That's why he's
Okay,
running.
okay.
That's why he's up running for MVP with Matthew Stafford.
Okay, just to cut this, just get straight to the point. He's young, and typically we don't believe in young quarterbacks.
Okay.
And we could possibly say that about a lot of other quarterbacks that are currently in the playoffs, right? And we'll talk about that soon enough.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and take this next one, Jay. I'm definitely gonna go with the Patriots. There's a couple of reasons why. One is gonna be coaching and preparation. Mike Vrabel definitely turned this season. Had a 15-3 record. Josh McDaniels came back, took them all the way. Like I said, with a great record. offensive strategy, I'm going to go with Drake May, of course, again, with the 31 touchdowns. I'm going to say the Houston's defense is definitely, we always talk about Houston's defense, but their offense is suspect. I mean, we just got done watching them play against the damn Steelers, and you saw exactly what C.J. Stroud did against the Steelers. You cannot trust C.J. Stroud. I don't trust C.J. Stroud. I trust New England's defense, and I trust their home field advantage when it comes down to it. At the end of the day, it's going to come down to defense, and it's going to come down to home field advantage.
You can't sit up there and say defense in the same sentence.
You talk the Patriots don't have a decent defense?
So if you're playing sorry teams, of course it's going to look like you got a good defense. Your stats are going to be inflated.
Hear me out. Home field advantage plus a decent defense against a struggling offense. That
Okay.
equals a W for whoever's at the home field advantage.
You act like New England is just some juggernaut. They almost
I'm not
lost.
saying that. We're talking about the game right now. That's tomorrow. We're talking about them playing against, or that's was it Sunday night. We're talking about them playing against the Texans.
So how do you think they fared last night? I mean, not last night. How do you think they fared against the Chargers, who had no offensive
They
line?
held them down to 3 points.
But was the game not close to the very end?
But
And they don't have a defense like the Texans.
Because Drake May struggled that game. Remember, I told you he never struggled in any other game except for when he played against the Chargers.
Why?
Because it was experience. Because he had just jumped into a game that he's never played in the playoffs before. It's his first playoff game. But guess what? Dust that shit off.
One game?
Now we're right. Yeah, of course.
Against the number one defense?
He knows exactly what to expect now when it comes to like a playoff environment. And he's playing at home again
Okay,
against a struggling offense. Like I'm telling you, I'm not listening. When it comes down to it, it's going to come down to who wants it more. It's going to come down to offensive strategy. And I trust the Patriots offense more than I trust the Houston Texans offense.
Okay, I'll give you that part, that you trust them the most, all right? But let's see, the Texans had the, fourth hardest schedule? The Patriots has the easiest schedule. Let me educate this guy, okay? Drake May performed, he got all of these stats. That's why he's not going to get MVP, because all of these stats were against the easiest teams in the league. Of course you're going to look like you're just the best. You're going to look like Josh Allen when you're playing against the Raiders and all of them other kind of teams. That's why his numbers are looking like that. It's like the LeBron effect. You know what I mean? His stats are inflated. Same thing with Drake May. Drake May, what did he do against that Chargers defense, which is not as good as the Houston Texans? He had them turnovers. He was rattled. It's going to be a completely different. No, I do not trust. Hold on. No, I do not trust in the Houston Rockets offense. I don't. I mean, the Houston Texans offense. I do not trust in them whatsoever. And they haven't won in New England. They're 0-7 in New England.
Let's go back to my main point, though. It's going to come down to offensive strategy, and I trust Josh McDaniels, his offense, his play calling to go against the Texans defense any day. How many Super Bowls does he have?
But what that got to do with today's day?
He's calling the plays. That's what has to do with today's day. I guarantee
calling many a plays.
He's gonna find holes in the Houston Texans defense, and that's gonna allow them to win this game. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
I disagree. I disagree with both of y'all on a couple of points, right? One point being that yes, their offense is horrible, but at the same time, this is an any given Sunday thing, right? And what I'm saying is that Texas is going to go in there. They're going to defeat New England because that defense is going to suffocate them.
Okay.
So
the Texans, they play in the cold all the time, right?
They don't play in a
dome.
They do not. But guess what? The cold also creates turnover.
Okay.
Turnovers.
Okay.
And who defense loves turnovers.
I get that. That's perfectly fine. But
So
we're
what
talking
part
about
of that
a
don't you
hostile
agree with me on?
environment.
What I don't agree with you is when you're pulling out the strength of schedule. Because that's intellectually dishonest. Here's the thing, right?
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
Yeah, very serious.
Because
The Bills had a
look,
terrible
when you're looking at strength of schedule for these teams and stuff like that, yes, the team is 13-3, the team that's 12-4 or whatnot, them teams' strength of schedule is going to be a little slanted because they done kicked so much ass.
And the
You know what I'm
teams-
saying? So
and the teams that they play in the division,
But that still don't make sense to me. If you had an easy schedule and you're playing the likes of the Raiders and all them kind of teams, and you're sitting up there dominating them, who else isn't going to dominate them if they had that same damn schedule?
Okay, but what about all when they beat the good teams? That's
What good teams have they beat? They've had the easiest schedule in the playoffs also. Who did they play? They played the Chargers, who was the easiest. Well, no. The Pittsburgh Steelers were the easiest draw, but then they played the Chargers, who had no O-line, and they struggled against them.
Okay.
They've drawn the easiest schedule throughout the playoffs and throughout the season, except for now when they're going against that juggernaut defense.
So it goes without saying, you're picking the Texans because we haven't.
I am definitely picking the Texans.
Right,
there is no way in this world I think that the Patriots are going to get away from that defense. Believe me, I got PTSD still because of that defense.
Look, my team faced that defense too, and I thought we had the number one defense. In my heart, I felt like Denver's defense was better until I seen them live. You know, like, look, New England's gonna be shocked. They're gonna get overwhelmed by that defense.
Texans should have lost against Pittsburgh. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But Pittsburgh, like I said, their offense didn't show up. They locked them down, and then it wasn't until late third, fourth quarter when the defense of the Houston Texans had to start scoring in order for them to win.
But they did.
But they did. But it took them.
And they consistently
It took them 3 quarters to get there, to do that.
It doesn't matter. They
Because,
consistently.
but listen, they did their job. They held them down. But guess what? That game could have easily been turned around by momentum because Pittsburgh was playing at home. If they would have decided to actually show up. Now, if the Patriots don't show up offensively, then yeah, the Texans might have a chance to win. But if they show up offensively, they're not going score for score. That's not happening.
Are you serious?
I guarantee it.
Oh,
We
got a guarantee.
I guarantee. I guarantee.
What's going with that guarantee?
Delta ass.
Okay, I have something to say about that too, right? The thing is that Texas, they're not devoid of talent. They got some dudes over there that's kind of a little scary.
Look,
What's their number one receiver? What's his name?
Them boys is scary.
It's. I saw the dude. I don't remember his name, but
look, you don't remember his name because they ain't did shit this season.
No, the dude. Nico Collins. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he has to say it. But watching him and watching his skill.
But
you know the dude.
But guess who has to give him the ball? Guess who has to get the ball to him?
So their offense is spotty. I get that. But they have performed, and when they haven't, the defense has helped them out. And there's many teams that their defense has helped them out.
Look, again, I'm saying at the end of the day, it's going to come down to the last couple possessions. If the offense of New England steps up and does what they're supposed to do, which I know what they can do. We're talking about number 2 in the MVP race. He's not in the MVP race for no reason, right?
That's because people are delusional.
I'm gonna go out there.
Delusional. All right, we're gonna move on to the next segment. But listen,
you'll make me say something.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you say one more. Go ahead. Say one more thing. We'll move on to the next segment.
New England is in danger of not even getting in the end zone.
Okay. And I can agree to that.
We'll see.
So
moving on.
And
moving on. I can't wait to run this back.
I can't wait. I have a feeling you going down this weekend. I'm distancing myself this weekend with this guy right here.
He's picking the road team again.
Yes, sir.
Again.
Yes, sir. So now we go talk about
Boy's delusional.
The Rams going into that windy city of Chicago. What you got on that one?
Me?
Yeah, what you got?
I'll tell you right now, I got Chicago. Of course I got Chicago. Main reason, again, is that defense.
All
Chicago's defense, they're playing in the cold. I'm talking about 8-degree weather. And then we're going to talk...
8-degree wind chill.
No, 8-degree weather.
No,
wind chill weather. It's on saying 7 degrees. It's going to be something around that.
17
It's going to be something around that, yeah. So I'm picking...
It'll get colder.
I'm picking Chicago. And the reason why, because I trust in Caleb Williams. He's very calm, collective.
You trust Caleb?
I trust Caleb.
And you're serious?
He's not out there throwing bullshit. He's not out there throwing picks.
He only comes in the last minute.
It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I trust him. Say if they are to come down, they're down by 17 points. Even if they are to go down by points, if they're going to be down by 15, 16, 20 points, I still trust in them. I trust in their defense to bring them back. I trust because they're the number 1 takeaway team, number 2, 1 or 2 takeaway team in the league. They proved it last week, coming back, playing against Yo, the sorry ass fucking what they just play? Can't remember their name.
The Packers,
The
man.
Packers, oh yeah.
They're
Sorry
not
ass
sorry.
Packers. Yeah, the Packers sorry. That's why they're not in the playoffs no more. That's why they're not playing. So yeah, I believe in them. And if you want to talk about, oh yeah, well Matthew Stafford is playing in cold weather too. Well, listen up. They're both him and Caleb 2-2 when it comes to playing in cold weather. They're both the same.
You're talking about a rookie or
Not a
second-year
rookie,
player.
not a rookie.
You're talking about a second-year player being at home.
A second-year player that's brought his team to the playoffs and now in the divisional round. Yes, I am talking about Caleb Williams. So I'm definitely going to go with them. If the Chicago Bears can establish the run, which I feel like they can do, which they have been doing throughout these playoffs, they're going to take it down to the end. They're going to win this game. I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout, but I'm going to say they're going to win by at least a score of like 28-23.
28. Oh, so now we're doing scores too, huh?
I'm going to do the score for this one. That's what I'm saying. This is how close it's going to be for me. 28-23. Because they got the Rams on a 3.5 point spread.
Now, where did you get that 2-2 in cold weather?
I looked it up.
Okay, well, when the temperatures are 40 degrees or less, do you know what his record is then?
No, what is that?
1-9.
Matthew Stafford?
Matthew Stafford.
Okay, Stafford.
1-9.
So again, my
40
main
or
reason,
less.
my main reason again for picking the Bears.
So
Prove my point. Thank you,
okay,
Jay.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you. I'm going with Chicago as well because the Rams, as of late, have been skating by. They've been skating on thin ice. And what they're going to be doing over there, they're going to be skating on thin ice because it is going to be cold as shit up
Correction, 1-9, but I was talking this season. Just this season. 2-2.
But no. The 1-9 is when it's 40 or below.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but this season.
Okay. So, once again, they're going to Chicago on the road. They haven't been performing well as of late. The beginning of the year, it looked like they were a juggernaut. And I'm not saying that the Rams are just going to go in there and stank up the joint. You know what I mean? Because they are still in the playoffs for a reason. That boy Puka,
he lifts weights.
And Adams, he's not, he's not Puka, but at the same time, he led in touchdowns. You know what I mean? So they got a 1-2 tandem over there that's deadly. And Matthew Stafford, my MVP of this year, unfortunately, he's not going to get the job done this time. He's been getting it done all year. But I think they go into there, and I don't believe in the Bears like this guy over here does. I'm going to be the first one to tell you. The bad news Bears are bad news, and everybody keep talking about, I'm getting these DMs, Bears down. Why would that even be something that y'all say? Because, yeah, the Bears are going down. It makes no sense to me why they say bear down. That just makes no sense to me because this week they're not going down. I reserve the right to say that right now. They're not going down this week. So that's kind of a spoiler for next week. But I go on with the Chicago Bears because they have that ability to come back, and the Rams haven't been performing well.
Amen.
Okay, so look, I'm going to buck what these two are saying, and I'm picking the LA Rams, right? But here's the reason. Coaching, right? When you look at all these teams that are on the schedule for this week, right? The offensive geniuses like Shanahan, Sean Payton, what's the guy in LA name? What is his name?
So, Kyle Shanahan?
No, the guy in LA.
Oh.
McVay.
Yeah.
Oh,
McVay. You know what I'm saying? Those dudes, just like because he was quick to bring up the guy in New England.
Let's talk about that real quick.
That failed as a head coach.
Hold on.
He destroyed Denver.
When I said coaching,
No, but look.
You making the same point I just made, but you picked Texas.
But McDaniels is trash.
He's trash.
Trash.
A Super Bowl winning coach.
Look
trash.
at me. He's done
about Belichick. Now you got Vrabel holding his head. He need a daddy to hold his head.
Belichick is a defensive-minded coach. What are you talking about? He wasn't calling plays.
I agree with him now on that one.
Okay, but
What has he done without him?
what you mean? He's in the playoffs. He's in the playoffs.
With Mike Vrabel,
Mike Vrabel is a defensive coach too.
but it doesn't
He
matter.
just
The whole
got
thing
back to
is
the playoffs this year. Don't act like he's been in
But
the
he's
playoffs
falling
since
off the
Belichick
place.
left.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
Continue.
Okay, so going back, Sean McVay and the Los Angeles Rams are going to go into Chicago and they're going to win. And here's the thing, right? No, Sean McVay is not on the field, and he's not going to be affected by the weather. And just be saying that Stafford is, he's lost all these games.
He's not the one playing.
Exactly. He's on the field calling the plays, though.
He's
He's an eye. He's the eyes in the sky. But trip this though. What y'all are missing in this situation is this, right? I agree. Okay, well look, Matthew Stafford, he could have lost all of his games in cold weather, right? But one thing comes down to it, right? When he lost, all the people that was with him lost too. This is not about one person.
It's a team.
It's a team sport. The Rams are going to go in there and get it done because they're going to sack that dude. They're going to sack Caleb Williams a bunch of times, and
They do have a good defensive pressure.
and potentially get turnovers up out of that.
They are good at getting turnovers. I'm not going to hold it. And like I said, the Rams are a good team. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I just don't have faith that they're going to go up there and win that game. And then we'll talk about other reasons later. All right. But for right now, let's go to that bang bang. Are they going to have to reload, or are they going to keep firing?
I'm going last on this one.
Okay, let's go then. Let's go, D.
If who's going to have to reload?
The Niners versus the Seahawks
Oh, that.
in Seattle.
Talk
Look,
about it.
now when it comes to the Niners versus Seattle, right? The truth of the matter is, I can't contradict what I said, right, about coaching. Kyle Shanahan is probably the best coach in the NFL that hasn't won anything though, because he should have went to Denver. No fault of his own. But here's the thing though. Look, the Seattle team, right? We've talked about their performances for different reasons, and every team that's in the playoffs right now, there's a reason to have doubts about them for whatever reason or not. None of them have been recent winners. And so when you're missing the 2 or 3 teams who have been the most recent winners, everybody else is kind of on fraud alert, and everybody wants to poke holes at everybody and say, oh, this team's not real, that team's not real. But I'm a believer in that slogan when they say, why not them this week? The 49ers go up in there into Seattle all the time. They're there every year. And they're sometimes twice a year.
Stadium takeover.
Yeah, so so it's not really a problem. I expect a close game there, but at the same time though, the quarterback for Seattle, Darnold. Okay,
Yeah.
so Sam Darnold goes from Minnesota, goes to Seattle. He's
Actually, he went from 49ers and then went to.
as of late.
As a starting QB.
Okay, as a starting QB, but stacking wins in the way that he has, right?
Yeah.
When we watched him come out of USC and we watched him, flounder around for a minute, and then now suddenly he's a winner, right? And now it could be time for him to become a playoff winner. It's this game is so even, and I think that it possibly is going to turn on coaching, and it's going to turn on who has the better field goal kicker. Yeah, I expect a close game there, and close games. Offensive geniuses know how to win them. I'm gonna go ahead and pick the 49ers.
Let me tell you something. It wasn't a close game when they played them last in San Fran.
Yes, it
In
was.
Santa Clara, they dominated it. The score doesn't dictate how it actually looked, and you know that. Now, that was a gotta have it, gotta win, so I can get a bye in home field throughout the playoffs, and possibly also to the Super Bowl. And that coach that y'all keep raving about, what did he do at home? Now he going on the road to play a Seattle team that's rested, and San Fran is injured now. What happened to Kettle?
We've been injured.
What happened to Kettle? And that's who y'all was, Kettle's back now. We about to take off. And I told you guys, I had a pod back with him a while ago, and I said that I feel that San Fran, if healthy, can make it all the way to the Super Bowl. They are not healthy. They lost a game, a gotta-have-it game that they should have with that Coach Shanahan that y'all raving about. What are they going to do on the road? Now, the only thing that I will say about this is the fact that Darnold is hurt, all right? His shoulder is hurting. So he hasn't been practicing. He says he's going to go, But let's just see if that shoulder bothers him. If he can perform without that shoulder bothering him, they taking an L, and it's not going to be close because they have a top defense as well as a top offense. The Niners don't have both. They are going to go into Seattle, and they're going to go back to Santa Clara and watch us in the Super Bowl.
Look, I know that you want to get him. Let me say one quick thing.
Yeah.
Look, you saying it's got to have, right?
Yep.
You know, Sunday has got to have.
Yep.
For real, for real.
For real, for real. This is win or go home.
First of all, we did not get our ass kicked the last time we played them. Second of all, we've been to Seattle before and we beat them. Third of all, we've been injured. We've been had the next man up, and we've been winning. We've been being out, and we still keep winning. You're talking about, oh, we have to go across the land and go into another stadium, and it's going to be kind of hard. We just did that against Philadelphia.
Who is Philadelphia?
Who's Philadelphia? The Super Bowl champions that was just last year. It was the same players, same coaches, and we just came back and whooped that ass.
Philadelphia sucked all year.
Built the ass. Built the ass. Look, at the end of the day, we're flying out, we're going to Seattle. We've been played there before. It's a hostile environment. We get that. This is a rivalry game. They're within our division, which is always going to keep it close. It's always going to be a close game no matter what. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a close game just like it was. It's always been under 30 points. It's been like 17-3 the other game, 16-3 this game. It's always going to be a close game. But at the end of the day, Kittle's hurt.
16-3 is a close game.
That's still a close game. It's a 2-score game. What are you talking about? And we held them.
Score a touchdown.
Look. At the end of the day, we still held them. As our defense that is so called not good or not top 5 or whatever you want to call it, this is top 8 teams in the playoffs right now. And guess who's there? Guess who nobody expected to be there?
And I picked them until now.
Look, if you look at the spread right now, 7 points. They're giving the Seahawks.
That's
75% of the bets are on Seattle, which means
that's a lot.
the biggest underdog in the last I don't know how many fucking years. I'm telling you right now, we're going to go in there, we're going to march in. The way we win is through the running game. Obviously, trust Christian McCaffrey. We got Juice down there. I said we still got Trent Williams down there. We got, even though Kittle's out there, we still got other players stepping up. I still believe at the end of the day, we're going to do exactly what we need to come and do. That's going to come down again to the coaching, Kyle Shanahan. It's going to come down to experience, which we have. Sam Darnold, great quarterback. Did it for the Vikings, over 500. Did it for the Seahawks. But this year, different story.
Fatal.
Different story.
Q.
Different story.
Who.
Bang bang.
Key. Cole. And all the other Niner fans out there. I am so sorry. I am sorry that I have to pick y'all to go home this week. I am so sorry. I love y'all, but at the end of the day, I gotta be real. I gotta say what's in my heart.
You said that last week.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I didn't say that. I picked y'all last week.
Yeah.
This week, I'm so sorry. Y'all going down. It is what it is. I mean, I can't help the fact that this guy over here is acting like a Cowboy fan right now.
No, definitely not so. I'm telling you right now, I'm going based off of pure facts.
Facts.
Pure facts.
That's opinion, boy. That's an opinion.
Pure
That's
facts.
not mere fact.
Pure
All right.
facts.
So, once again, unfortunately, Big Chucks, Seattle fan, I got you.
Let me ask you a question. Who's the better quarterback? Sam Darnold or Brock Purdy?
I'm going to go with Purdy.
Thank you. So,
it's not just a quarterback game.
I
It's all facets of the ball. Who has the better receiver?
well, he was locked down last time, though.
Who has the better receiver?
They have the better receiver right now, but we still.
Who has the better running game tandem?
We do.
Tandem.
We do.
No, you don't.
Yes, we do.
No, you don't.
Yes,
you got
Christian McCaffrey.
You got
Juice.
Christian McCaffrey, who's
Juice.
better.
And Robinson.
All right. So right now, once again, Niners, sorry, not sorry, you're going down. And now let's talk about the Super Bowl winner, the Super Bowl MVP. Let's get on that one. And I will go last on this one.
Well, I'll go first on this one since this is y'all. So.
the Super Bowl. Who is this Super Bowl? I was trying to get somebody to quantify how Purdy is better than Darnold, but maybe we'll get into that another time.
Oh no, go ahead, speak your speak.
Yeah,
Well, no, I want one of y'all to because you said that he said Darnold No, he said Purdy.
I said
He
we
said
trust
Purdy.
him
He said no. He said who's the better quarterback?
Yeah.
Said Purdy, and it was just like that was just a foregone conclusion.
You
Like,
think Purdy should have been MVP this year?
Absolutely.
I don't know. I don't know if Sam Darnold is a worse quarterback than Purdy.
You know?
You know what I'm saying? Just based upon his recent history,
Yeah.
and what he's able to do, going in and stepping in and playing different systems and things like that. Purdy, we've only seen him with Shanahan. If we
I give
Purdy,
you that.
no,
So
we
you
said
think
if we
Purdy's-
send Purdy to Cleveland, you may never hear of him again.
So you think Purdy's assistant quarterback?
Okay, but see, look at Darnold wasn't good either until he went to Minnesota.
He's his assistant quarterback.
I do. Look.
So that Matt Jones is assistant quarterback too? Because we were winning games with Kyle Shanahan too, though.
Nah, but look. Here's the thing, right?
Nah,
and
that's a comment.
I'm going to answer. Look, I believe. Look, Purdy is forever going to be way down by that seventh round pick thing. He was Mr. Irrelevant and so forth and all that. He's going. Mac Jones is the first
And
rounder.
now he has a 4-year contract.
All of that. He's
I don't buy that one.
he's earned all of that. What I'm saying is that bias is not necessarily rational.
Okay.
You know, but it exists. It exists all throughout the league. They're like, oh, he was Mr. Irrelevant. He's 7th round pick. Brady was a
I was
sixth.
just about
Brady
to
was
say
a
that.
6th rounder.
Exactly, yeah.
Brady was
Just
a
about
6th
to
rounder.
say that.
It's a lot of, but you know, you get people that were even undrafted. Like what was the dude in for the Dallas Cowboys was Tony Romo. Tony Romo was undrafted. Got great numbers. He had beautiful numbers. And Donald Trump wears his numbers are beautiful. You know? but he never won nothing. Right? And Purdy's not the guy that I'm leaning on to win anything.
So if Purdy wins, hypothetically speaking, Purdy wins the Super Bowl this year.
Kyle Shanahan.
Very hypothetical.
Kyle Shanahan's a magician. That's what I want to say.
We've had this conversation, and I think Purdy is actually a good quarterback.
Yeah, I said they weren't supposed to pay him. We going back and forth over that during the
And I
offseason.
said they should have paid him.
Why
Yeah.
not?
And look at what happened.
Yeah, look at what happened. Mac Jones came in and did his job serviceably. You know what I'm saying?
Does that make Mac Jones assistant quarterback coming from New England?
No.
Okay, so what's the difference between him and Purdy?
The difference between him and Purdy
Because Purdy only lost.
The difference between him and Purdy is two things. One, Mac Jones was a first-round pick. What he went to Alabama, he won something.
The picking
Yeah,
spots
he
to
won
me mean
something.
nothing.
Where did Purdy come?
That's a team game. What are you talking about? You talking about college football now?
All of that. You know what I'm saying? The winning culture, the winning attitude, the winning pedigree,
So
whatever.
how come he didn't do that with New England?
Bo Nix was a captain in Oregon. And he went to Auburn. He has that pedigree too. Well,
I'm talking about Mac.
Mac Jones. Look, the thing with Kyle Shanahan's system doesn't call for a superstar quarterback. You know, like that's the whole thing. The original West Coast offense when they installed when they installed the West Coast offense in San Francisco, not the original, because the original came from Cincinnati or Cleveland.
I'm gonna give you some stats. 2025 regular season. 20 passing touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 100.5 passer rating through all 9 games, and his record 7-2.
Okay.
Assistant quarterback.
He does great.
So in Kyle Shanahan's system, that's what made him 7-2. Remember, he was injured. Now, if he
I
wasn't
hate when
injured,
people say that because
Wow.
Lance didn't do it.
Okay, what I'm saying is
that part. Trey Lance can get busy.
Look,
and he was the number 2 pick, number 3 pick.
you put Christian McCaffrey on any one of those other teams, right? And you'll be crowning them Super Bowl champions. Any of those other teams on the field.
He played
Texas,
for the Panthers.
put them in the Texas.
I'm
I'm talking about the ones. No, I'm talking about the ones in the playoff field right now. Put him in Texas. You wouldn't be saying nothing about C.J. Stroud. You'd be like, oh, I'm scared of this.
No, C.J. Stroud was actually a good
quarterbacks don't make the team go
C.J.
round.
Stroud was a good quarterback.
That running back. Look, defense and running the ball. Put them in Denver. We're champions. We destroyed
Are you
Buffalo.
serious?
Yes, I'm dead serious.
Here we
Christian
go.
McCaffrey.
All right,
Christian
so
McCaffrey.
let's talk about that then. Go ahead. Tell me how Denver's going to destroy Buffalo. Go for it.
Okay, look at this, right? Rumor has it that Buffalo doesn't have a good run defense.
Rumor? It's not a rumor. That's facts. That is very factual. No rumors there.
So look, Denver doesn't have any punch at the running back position right now. So therefore, yes, a Christian McCaffrey will carry us over Buffalo in a heartbeat. You know, but here's the thing, right? if Buffalo has a soft run defense, I do believe that Jaleel McLaughlin, and I hope not to see no Tyler Bidet out there at all. You know, he doesn't bring anything to the table. That's the backup.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jaleel McLaughlin and R.J. Harvey, right?
Their run defense is 16th. I mean, offense is 16th.
Who's offense? Yeah. Okay, middle of the road. But look at this though. You want to say 16th? What is the difference between 16th and 5? It's very negligible. So those numbers are really just intellectually dishonest. That's like right here, what the 49ers in this situation, which just is on my screen. You know, they're like 7th in yards, and then you have Seattle is like 7th. They're tied at 351 per game.
Yeah.
All right, but at the end of the, I got to go last on this one.
Okay, here's the thing, right? My laptop done froze up, so they don't want me to pull out these facts.
Get it to 'em straight.
They want me to pull out these facts on Buffalo. But the thing is, look, okay, so Buffalo, and I remember this because I did do the research on this one.
Yeah.
So look, Buffalo they're gaining like something like 40 more yards per game than the Broncos are, right? Which moves them that has them ranked somewhere between like 7th and 14th offense or something like that. So 40 yards makes a difference between being ranked 14th and being ranked like 7th or 8th or whatever. And I think that that's negligible. But at the same time, when you get down to it, that 40 yards for Buffalo also translates into like about 4 more points per game over what the Broncos are scoring, right? So I don't really see that big of a difference in that. It's like, okay, so you're averaging 28, they're averaging 24, but what is the defense averaging giving up? And we know that Buffalo likes to give up a lot of points. Even when they, So in this, right?
So you're picking Buffalo. So you're picking Buffalo?
You talking to him or me?
Talking to you.
No, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I would never pick Buffalo. No. I would be honest and say when my team was going, like last year, like it was like, hey, didn't even want to see that guy. Don't even want to really. I don't even want Josh Allen in the building. Like so they need to lock him out. You know what I'm saying?
Get that game closed, right?
But the thing is though, look, I don't think that Buffalo has the firepower to really go out there and overwhelm Denver's defense. They in a sense they do have the tight ends and the running back to do it, but at the end of the day, I think that the Broncos are going to find a way to quell all the noise and make Clark Kent go back to the Daily Planet.
And you're serious?
I'm dead serious.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Mine's simple. I got the Broncos. I mean, it's been 10 years, something like that, since y'all won a playoff game. So,
on the road.
Yeah, on the road.
32 years.
Yeah.
Woo!
Till last year.
Woo!
Last week.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the momentum going in. I got Denver, man. I got trust in
What
them.
momentum? They ain't had no momentum.
Man,
Listen.
listen, bro. They're the number one. The number one in the AFC for a reason. They've been like what you say. They've been waiting. They're all rested up, ready to go. Nigga, when y'all step y'all foot into that door, I'm telling you, they're gonna blow the brakes off y'all. That's what I feel, bro. I feel like this is the game where this is the only game out of all these games where somebody's getting the brakes blown off of them, bro. And it's gonna be the Bills.
Are you serious?
Absolutely. You guys don't have a running game. Y'all gonna be one dimensional. And I trust in
You said we what?
Y'all are going to be one dimensional.
We only have what?
No running game.
We have no running game?
None.
We were the number one in the league in the rushing attack.
Watch.
What do you mean no running game?
Not at this fucking now in the playoffs.
And we had one game that we
That's
didn't
all right.
do good.
That's all right. I still got Denver's defense.
Okay. Go ahead.
Denver's defense has only given up 100 yards to one rusher this season. That's Jonathan Taylor.
Okay, so Denver is number 2 in rushing yards allowed.
Yes.
We are number 1. And our strength is actually their weakness when we go up the middle one. All right? So let's tell you this. Denver at home, since week 10, they won 10-7 against the Raiders at home. Yeah. Everybody talking about this mile high and the thin air up there and the fourth quarter and this and that. They barely won at home against the Raiders. Kansas City, 22-19.
Y'all
They
played all their
won.
players?
What?
They played all their players?
Yes. This is since week 10. They're not sitting
Let
nobody.
them keep
All
on
right,
rambling
listen.
up about our W.
Listen, 34 to
Tell me
26.
about our wins.
34 to 26.
Yeah.
And look at the teams they beat, all right? This is the Packers, all right? Then they played the Jags. They lost 34 to 20 recently, all right? Then they played the Chargers backups and was struggling against them, 19 to 3. You're playing Buffalo. But let me say it again. Buffalo. Josh Allen. This is who you're playing now. You're not playing these scrubs. You're not playing these scrubs no more. Broncos had the number 2 easiest schedule in the league.
Look,
By far, number 2 easiest schedule in the league.
we can't even listen to that because look at this, right? We faced the number 1 offense in the during the season, which was the Cowboys. Blew the brakes off them.
They had no
So wait,
defense.
can I say? But
Yeah.
they still was the number 1 offense. What could they? Superman ain't the number 1 offense. You know what I'm saying? He's just a one. He's a
Top
he's
three.
a wannabe.
Top
He's a
three.
wannabe at this point.
Top 3.
He wants to be the number 1. He's just top 3. You know, say 3 is not number 1.
Who putting fear in your heart right now? All right then.
But look, okay, but going back to the point, right? We faced the number 1 offense this season. We faced the number 1 defense this season. We faced both Super Bowl participants. We beat them all. Look, we don't make the schedule. All we do is just go out and just win the games. Now, but look at this though. And you want to talk about the teams that we barely beat or almost lost to, depending on how you want to frame it. The thing is, though, that we could go down the list and look at all those other teams and look at which teams actually lost to those teams, like New England losing to the Raiders. You want to talk about the Broncos barely beating them? But we barely beat them, but we
They
beat
had
them.
an easy schedule too.
Bro, they got
They're not
5
comparable.
players that had 16
All right.
sacks.
So then we're going to talk about Denver. Okay, they're 4-0 coming out the bye. Until this week. They are going to lose. Yes, they're up there rested. I get that. Maybe they're a little bit too rested. But their pass defense was not good. It was what? 14th? Their offense 11th? They are not as good as everybody think they are. Their defense was better last year. Would you say that?
No.
No,
Oh, it was.
they did
Statistically, Statistically, their defense was better last year. And what happened when they came to Buffalo? Got the brakes beat off of them, 31-7. You were here for that, and you were tuned out the game early.
Okay, look at this, right? I don't even know why I'm sitting up here listening to these people that need to be in the medical team. Because look,
That's where Bo Nix gonna be.
they have this laundry list of all these people with all these ailments and things. It looks like a convalescent home.
It is, and we
You
still
know what
gonna
I'm saying?
beat them.
But here's the thing, right? The Broncos are not only well rested, but they're relatively healthy, and that comes from coaching. They kept their players fresh by rotating players in and out. So when you're looking at these games, you're like, oh, well, they barely beat the Raiders, but you know what I'm saying? Or we were playing the third string Chiefs or whatever. You have to look at those games and look at how the Broncos were negotiating their depth chart and how they were calling plays. A lot of times the Broncos were playing it close to the best and just trying not to take too many risks in these games.
Let me ask
Knowing
y'all a
that they
question.
can go out and just win them,
Yeah.
just on defense.
Let me ask y'all a question. What's Buffalo's record the last 4 games they went up to Denver?
I don't know. You said something about they won.
4-0. The last time we went to that mile high, 4-0, and we have a better squad now.
You guys have a better squad now than y'all had last year?
No, not than last year. Our squad is worse than it was last
Oh,
year.
shit.
I'm talking about previous years when we went out to Denver and won, because everybody talking about that advantage to going to Denver or being up in Denver. This is actually the coldest game that Denver's played all year. Also, who thrives in cold weather?
My question would be, okay.
Hey, Russell? Oh, go ahead.
My question would be, so that the Bills have beaten the Broncos up there in Denver, but how recent was those victories?
Exactly.
You know, because here's the thing, right? Every player is going to acclimate to that altitude differently. The dude for the Steelers, I can't think of his name right off the bat, but he went up there and had sickle cell trait, and he damn near died, lost his spleen or something. You know,
Yeah, well, we don't have sickle cell, all right? And
No, but that's not a joke because that was a real serious medical issue that happened to that player, you know. And they forbade him from even traveling to those games, you know, after that.
So,
but Sean Payton was part of those victories.
So the Denver Broncos are 19th in defending tight ends. 19th. Who has the best tight end in the league right now? 150 QBR untargeted. Dalton Kincaid. All right. They're 28th against slots. Who's our number one receiver? Our slot, Khalil Shakir. And after the contact, he puts up the most yards. So your weaknesses are our strengths.
All right. So look, this is what's.
Hold on. You saying the best tight end in the league right now, or just in the playoffs?
QBR when targeted.
This is how.
Look it up.
Okay, I was making sure because I'm not saying any better than George Kittle.
So look.
Oh my gosh, he is better than George Kittle.
He's not better than George Kittle.
Yes, he is. George Kittle can't even stay on the field.
Right, we'll get into that later.
So
we'll get into that later.
Kincaid can't either. I shouldn't have said that.
No, we'll get into that later.
His ass stays off the field. Go ahead.
But I'll rebut that with what you have to say about Denver defending tight ends, right? Yes, true. We traditionally struggle with defending against tight ends. We had Kelsey in our division, you know, for years. Then before that, what we had the dude in San Diego, the basketball player. You know, brain fart. I'm forgetting his name right now.
Henry.
Before him,
Antonio Gates.
Gates. Yeah, we had Gates over there. We had Tony Gonzalez over there. You know, so we've always had to.
But we're talking about right now.
Right now, what I'm saying is that we've always struggled in that position. It's been hard to find somebody to match up against tight ends. They're always matchup nightmares. But guess what? We got a dude in PS2 that can slide in here and defend them guys. And what do you think that they brought Jahdae Barron up in there for? So now
they're still struggling.
No, what I'm telling you is that you might see something in defensive alignment against your team when they're going into those heavier sets. You might see something different from this defense today.
And do you know our O-line is going to be dominant over your D-line because we outweigh them by a lot.
Jacksonville's
we outweigh their offensive line by a lot, so they're going to get pushed around, and it's going to open up our running game as well. And guess what? They're fifth against getting passes batted. Their fifth highest getting passes batted down also because that line is so small. We are going to Buffalo by a mile. Do you like that one? Buffalo by a mile.
By a mile and mile high.
Delta Yes. Broncos.
By a mile.
Beating the brakes off the Bills.
So, okay. So, earlier you said something about fraud alert. Go ahead. Recap that one.
Fraud alert.
Let's talk about it.
Who's your fraud team in the playoffs right now?
Well, a lot of people think the Broncos are frauds. You know, you have a person sitting up here saying, well, you know, they're.
I don't think they're frauds.
But you get a lot of chatter about that. You know?
Okay.
And maybe you know people want to distance themselves from those statements at this point. But we were sitting up here talking about a number one seed opening up as an underdog at home, on rest and so forth and all that. Yeah, Josh Allen is amazing and all that, but the Buffalo Bills are not amazing. They lost 2 games that they shouldn't have lost. Who was those teams that I said that they lost to that they shouldn't have lost to? My computer froze up. Miami, and who was the other one? Atlanta, them two. They could have been the number one seed. This game could have been in Buffalo possibly if not for those 2 losses. So while he's sitting up here telling the public dishonestly about how the Broncos almost lost, you know what I'm saying? Look, that's like me saying to somebody, you know, say, yeah, well, you know, I was at the dance and stuff and all that, and we almost kissed. You'll be like, why are you telling me this? You know what I'm saying?
Because you get excited when you almost kiss somebody at a young age. When you're young and you say we almost kissed, what happened? That's juicy, right? So are you trying to say Buffalo is a fraud?
Nah, Buffalo's not a fraud. Buffalo's a team.
Oh, okay.
No, Buffalo's not the fraud. In this situation, I believe that New England as the number 2 seed might be the fraud, right? And the reason, and my reason for that is that honestly, I'm just say that they're just shocking everybody by being a little above schedule. You know, they arrived a little early. Mike Vrabel just goes over there and then suddenly, boom, it's magic. You know, so there could be a little bias in that, but at the same time, you just look at that team and you do look at the other teams that are in their division, Miami and the New York Jets, and it's like, look, yeah, the Broncos have the Raiders over there, but we don't got the New York Jets and the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, they got a couple of easy wins over there. Buffalo gives them a problem. Did they split with y'all this year?
Who?
New England.
Yeah.
Okay, they split with them. But it's like, yeah, we had to beat Patrick Mahomes and Justin.
This year wasn't who? Patty ain't shit this year.
Okay, it doesn't, but he's still that guy. He's still, reputationally, he's on the field. You got to prepare for him.
And who's your fraud alert? Because this is.
My fraud alert, I'm gonna go exactly. I mean, I know I picked the Patriots. I know I picked the Patriots.
What are you talking about?
No, listen, I'm saying on fraud alert. Now, just because I picked them doesn't mean I don't think they, have a possibility of losing. Like they might be a fraud. Because at the end of the day, I still believe in it's either Patriots or Buffalo because y'all both have the easiest schedules in the NFL. So.
No, we don't. Denver has the second easiest
You
schedule.
guys are like the third.
No, we have the fifth.
Okay, it's still easy.
And the Niners have 6.
What do you mean? Yeah, some shit like that. But no, on the real,
that's apples and oranges,
but
man.
it's for the team that's like I say, for the team that has home field advantage, I'm gonna say definitely New England. I'm gonna go with them only because again their strength of schedules and they haven't played nobody at all, and they're still continuing to play nobody. But at the same time, Texans are nobody too. I just like to tell you their offense is fried.
But that defense.
Yeah, their defense is legit. I give you that, but their offense is suspect. So, but I definitely would say if I had to pick a team, I'd go with New England too.
And it's a clean sweep because I'm going with New England as well because of all the reasons that these guys said.
Yeah.
The easy schedule. That's why they had
Inexperience.
that. Yeah, that's why they had that record that they had this year because they got a decent quarterback. I'm not going to sit up there and say Drake May is not decent. They got decent players, but because of that easy schedule, it helped them out, which is why I think that he's not MVP also. But that's a different horse for a different day. Now,
because imagine Miami being good this year. Imagine, the Jets were always going to be the Jets, but imagine Miami being at least decent this year. They could have took like a game or two out of there. A couple other teams they played.
I think if Tua would have actually played, they would have beat Miami at the end.
But imagine if they would have just beat the Raiders. They have home field advantage.
But that was the first game of the year.
It doesn't matter.
That was the first game of the year. But there's a whole lot of ifs. If it was a fifth, we'd all be drunk, and I don't even fucking drink. All right? Now, the flip side of that is, what team do you actually fear? I hit something right there, huh? Y'all got silent.
Okay, look at this, right? I really would go ahead and say that I fear the Texans, right? But I'm gonna just fast forward to the Super Bowl and say I don't want to play Seattle in the Super Bowl. Just for a whole bunch of reasons. We've already had a nightmare with them. Yeah.
And who you got?
If we're talking Super Bowl picks, I'm not.
No, we're not talking about who you don't want to run across either in the playoffs or in the Super Bowl.
If I was just a team and I just didn't want to run across anybody, we're gonna go both sides or just on one side.
No, Super Bowl, playoffs with your team. You don't want to run across.
If there's any team that I didn't want to run across, it would have to be. I'll have to give it to Denver, bro.
Denver? Are you
serious?
serious?
Yeah,
Of all the teams?
yes, Denver, bro. Playing it.
Oh, no.
Listen, I'm talking about. I'm gonna just go based off of fan base. Now, I'm just gonna go I'm just saying, like Denver, they travel good. They got a great defense. I trust in Bo Nix. At first, I was like, yeah, that's kind of stuff. But Bo Nix is a dual threat. He can do it on the ground. He can do it in the air. You got a couple of good receivers around. You got Sutton back there. You got Harvey in the back. He can play in the slot. You got a lot of weapons on Denver. And they got Sean Payton, a Super Bowl winning coach. So I'm gonna go with Denver.
All right, so going off a Super Bowl winning coach, which Sean Payton is way back.
Still won a Super Bowl
with the Saints.
With
We're gonna talk about. No, I believe that the team that I don't want to face is the Rams. You don't know what you're gonna get out of Matt Stafford and Puka. Puka is fucking scary, and you got Devontae to worry about. Their defense is playing good. They take away the ball as well. I'd rather play anybody on that list
That would be my second.
than the Rams. Seattle, second to that. Anybody in the AFC? Please. I'll play Texans again. And they're not going to beat us twice. Nobody beats Josh Allen twice in a year. I will take the Denver Broncos, who we're going to keep in Denver this year. So the one that I don't mind Chicago if they somehow make it. The Rams are the team that I fear because they have that Super Bowl pedigree. Lately, they are the team up there who's won it. I believe 2001 or 21 or somewhere around there. They're the ones that have won it most recently, and that's the Super Bowl coach that I don't want to face. You don't know what you're going to get out of that squad.
I'll take it even further and say the team that I would want to face is Chicago in the Super Bowl. I wouldn't want to face the Rams. I wouldn't want to face Seattle or 49ers.
Well, you want to know who I would want to face? I would want to face the Niners. I would want to face the Niners in the Super Bowl. I think that'll be the easiest win.
Easiest win? It's crazy.
I think that'll be the easiest win.
My guy's Delulu. Listen,
We destroyed their asses last time. But I believe that'll be the easiest win for us. Matchup on matchup, I think that'll be it for us.
Yeah, I think that the reason why I would say Chicago would be the easiest out is that you got a first year coach, you got the young quarterback. Then when you get into LA and the 49ers, you're getting superior coaching, and with Seattle you're just getting
superior.
Okay, so with
Mike
Chicago,
Shanahan's kids, he raised both of them.
Yeah, exactly.
so with Chicago,
Yeah.
they're like Buffalo in a sense. Buffalo actually fares better against winning teams, just so you know. We played well against the top 5 defenses that we played. We won. We've done great against them, all right? So when you're talking about being up, who do you fear they can come back? I think that the Bears are somebody I fear can come back. Just like Buffalo can come back and beat you, I feel the Bears can do the same thing. I don't feel that the Rams can do that. I don't feel that Houston can do that. The Seattle, I don't feel Niners can do that.
To come back?
To come back and win if down.
We've done that already, multiple times.
Okay. Against good teams, good competitions in the playoffs, I think that the Bears are the only team that I think that you can't count them out when they're down a lot.
But that's the thing. That's the reason why everybody's talking about what the Broncos are not, because they happen to come back and win games
At home,
everywhere.
We came back and beat Philadelphia
The
last
Broncos came back and beat everybody. Everybody on that list that that you were naming, the Broncos were down and
stop it with Philly.
Y'all, I mean, you keep making up these points. I'm just saying the facts.
Philly is not a good team.
Okay.
who gave them their
They're in
first
the
loss
playoffs,
this season?
though.
I think the Broncos is the first team to defeat them this season.
Philly has been fraudulent all year. But that concludes this episode. Unless one of y'all got something else to say?
Broncos to the Super Bowl and win it by 14 points.